Last night, Brazil, their president, they're having elections for president of Brazil. The Trump of the tropics, Brazil President Bolsonaro, faced off with former president and Workers' Party candidate Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in a televised debate. And Lula called Bolsonaro a little dictator, then referred to him as the king of fake news. Bolsonaro, who many fear will not concede if and when he loses the election scheduled for the end of October, he called Lula corrupt, disgusting, and a liar and a national disgrace. Lula then accused Bolsonaro of failing to protect Brazilians from COVID, being an anti-vaxxer. Lula accused Bolsonaro of promoting dangerous medications to treat the virus, which killed 680,000 Brazilians. I was expecting Bolsonaro to say, "You're fired." Well, that's why I'm grateful to live in an advanced liberal democracy like the United States, where our debates are civilized. For example, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is running for re-election, and over the weekend she debated the Democratic candidate for her House seat, Marcus Flowers. It was substantive, and it offered Georgia voters in the 14th Congressional District an opportunity to make an informed, sober choice on which candidate is best equipped to navigate this country that we all love, to navigate this country through these troubled shores. First up, Marjorie Taylor Greene told us why she is a proud Republican.
Democrat Party is the party of child abuse.
Okay, that's important for people to know if they're going to vote. I'm a single issue voter. I care more about Medicare for all. But if the Democratic Party is the party of child abuse, I need to take that into consideration when I go to the polls. Continue, Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Why else are you a Republican? What else do the Democrats stand for that you don't appreciate?
And genital mutilation of kids.
Okay, the Democratic Party is for the genital mutilation of kids. That's important for us to know. Personally, I'm on the fence when it comes to genital mutilation of kids. That's why I'm a Democrat. But if Democrats are mutilating the genitals of kids, it's probably wrong. But you know what? I'd rather not have the government intervening. Okay, what else, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is your problem with the Democrats?
It's the party that represents grooming children and sexualizing them in school.
Okay, you know what? I'm starting to not like the Democrats. Child abuse, genital mutilation, grooming children and sexualizing them. Why aren't they being arrested? Why aren't they all being locked up? Why are we not arresting these Democrats? But then again, there is the possibility that Marjorie Taylor Greene may be exaggerating a tad. We all do that. I don't know. That's why I'm glad at last night's debate there was a real journalist on the panel to ask Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene where she gets her information.
What is your process for fact-checking and vetting the things that you say in public?
Great question. What is your process? Here was her answer, where she draws the curtain back and we get a chance to see where Marjorie Taylor Greene gets all her information.
The things I say in public are the truth, and that's why they're so offensive to Democrat activists in the media just like you.
I see. So her process is speaking the truth. That's how she gets all her information, by listening to herself talk. Fascinating. Unlike these Democratic activists asking the question, they listen to others who read books. But Marjorie Taylor Greene gets her facts by listening to herself talk. Well, then it was time for each candidate to ask the other candidate a question. Marjorie Taylor Greene was up first.
Do you believe in genital mutilation of children under the age of 18?
Well, first off, I think we can all agree, genital mutilation for people under the age of 18. I'm pretty sure it's wrong. But Marcus Flower, her opponent, refused to even answer that question. He refused to say that he was against genital mutilation for people under the age of 18. He refused. He said he refuses to dignify such a preposterous question. Well, that's what people say when they're pro-genital mutilation for children under the age of 18. So I don't trust Marcus Flower. He's obviously taking a lot of money from big genital mutilation. How much money? How much? How much money does he take in donations from big genital mutilation? He won't answer that question. And then it was time for the bully, Marcus Flower, who supports genital mutilation. It was time for his question. And this was a rude and inappropriate question that one would only expect to come from a candidate who is in the pocket of big genital mutilation.
You know, you spent your time in Congress these last couple of years providing aid and comfort to the January 6th insurrectionists. My question for you is, why do you care more about those criminals in jail than you do about the people of our district?
How dare he ask that question? Do you know what Marjorie Taylor Greene has gone through, what she went through on January 6th?
You cannot accuse me of insurrection. I was a victim of the January 6th riot just as much as any other member of Congress.
She was a victim. This poor woman was a victim of January 6th. She didn't go into specifics. She won't tell you. She doesn't like playing the sympathy card. She doesn't like being a victim. But I'll say it. I'll tell you what happened. This woman, only days before January 6th, was kind enough to give tours of the Capitol to the people who stormed it on January 6th. She not only helped them do reconnaissance work for January 6th, but she lent them maps so they would know whose offices were where, right? And you know what happened after she lent them those maps? Those people were arrested after January 6th. She never got her maps back. But that didn't stop this bully, Marcus Flower, from going for her jugular.
Lying about me, and you will not defame my character in that manner.
Did Joe Biden win the election, Congresswoman Greene?
Joe Biden is the president of the United States.
Absolutely,
Marcus.
but you pushed a big lie that said he did not win the election.
There was election fraud.
You drove those people to the Capitol on January 6th with your lie.
Election.
We're going to move on. Josh Rowe, it's your turn to ask
and
a
my
question
husband has
to Marjorie
proof of it.
Taylor Greene.
We have FOIA evidence of proof of election fraud that came out.
Excuse me. We're ready to move on to the next question for you.
He's not going to accuse me of a crime.
Would you like your question? Would you like your question?
Yes, ma'am. I would. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Liar, by the way.
You're a liar, by the way. She always gets the last word. Always gets the last word. Hard to believe her husband recently filed for divorce. Why are men so cruel? Why are men so cruel? Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene refused to say Joe Biden won the election. She thinks he stole it. Meanwhile, in Georgia, Republican Herschel Walker debated Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock. That was on Friday. And 246 Republican candidates running in the midterms, all of them say Joe Biden did not win the 2020 presidential election. You cannot get an endorsement from Donald Trump unless you say Joe Biden lost in 2020. Here is Herschel Walker Friday night getting asked whether or not Joe Biden won.
Did President Biden defeat former President Donald Trump in 2020? Again, sir, you have 60 seconds.
President Biden won and Senator Warnock won. That's the reason I decided to run.
Wow. Herschel Walker going against Trump, the man who endorsed him. He went against Trump. Trump has been standing by his side, and Herschel Walker turned his back on Donald Trump. He's breaking with Trump orthodoxy and saying Joe Biden won the election in 2020. Herschel Walker, during Friday night's debate, said, I don't care what Donald Trump says. I'm speaking the truth. I'm standing up against this misinformation that's destroying our democracy. Evil only happens when good men remain silent, which might explain why the second debate between Senator Raphael Walker and Raphael Warnock, the second debate between Senator Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker on Sunday was slightly different.
Let's meet the candidates for this debate. Chase Oliver, a libertarian, is a businessman. Raphael Warnock, a Democrat, is the incumbent senator from Georgia. Herschel Walker, a Republican, is a businessman and former professional athlete. Mr. Walker has declined to participate and is represented by an empty podium.